Hi guys, did you know that you can change the content of your layer through time? So the layer will display some text in the beginning of your composition, and then later on the same layer it will change to have a new value or another text. Let's get a few examples here running. We create a new composition, of course. We take this background is okay, 7 seconds will do. Cool, let's add some text. I'm gonna copy and paste the text from outside to save some time. First, I'll come to paragraph and make sure it is centered here. So I will take the first text I want and come back to After Effects and paste it. This is photography. Control Enter, go to the align and align it in the middle of the composition. So this is photography. I will add some more text now. That the name of the guys who did the photography in this video that we are going just to display. For example, let's be a bit creative here. Cool, so we have Jim Rohn who did the photography. We can take the character of Jim Rohn a bit down and then we make the name a bit bigger. That's usually what happens in displaying the names of the heroes or something like this. I will center it, fine, and this one I will also center it. Now, I will come to the text layer Jimmy Rohn. I will open it and see exactly what we have here. We have text and transform. We have seen a lot about transform. Let's open text. We have source text, path options, and more options. We focus on the source text for now. I will keyframe it. Now notice this keyframe is a bit unusual. This is what's called a hold keyframe. Hold keyframe means they change this value at this time. So it doesn't change before, it doesn't change after, it just changes at this time. I will go to 1 second, for example. We display the name for 1 second. I will take the second name and paste it, just double click, editing, and paste it again. Notice what happened. A new keyframe has been created and it's also a hold keyframe. But this keyframe now looks like it is in two pieces. If I come back to beginning, I see it is Jim Rohn. This is the value before. And then if I move in, it switches value immediately. This is the concept of keyframes, is we change value when the time comes, when the timeline indicator or your time comes to this precise time. I will go to 2 seconds now, take another name, Alfred Smith, and come back to John Doe. I just edit it. I press Ctrl A and Ctrl V to paste the new name. So now I have 3 names displayed at 3 seconds. Here you are. Jim Rohn starts, then change to John Doe, and then to Alfred Smith. Now I would like you to notice this keyframe here. I will zoom in to the maximum. You notice this keyframe has 2 colors. One color is for Jimmy Rohn, for a certain value, of course. And another color here on this side, on the right side, is for John Doe. So actually this whole keyframe is split into 2. The value before and the value after. And this is pretty useful. We can keyframe the photography. I will go to source text. I will go back to the beginning. And then the source text, I will keyframe it. Come to the next one, or after it displays, that's over here, for example. Now I will work with video editing. I will copy the text and come here and paste it. And now it is photography on this side and video editing on this side. And for the video editing here, on the same time here, I can also add now the new names for video editing, paste them. And you notice a keyframe has been created. Go to 4 seconds and then we go take the last name, double click and put it back. Okay, and then I have now a nice animation. The photography comes in, says the 3 names, and then video editing and so on. So what's the concept here? I always told you when you are setting your text, set everything from the character panel and the paragraph panel. Don't use, stretching it in and out here, because you will be creating transformations on the layer. But now what happens if you want to keyframe these values and change them? Well, by changing the source text, you have seen one example where the content is changed, but also you can change everything in the character on a keyframe. For example, if Jim Rohn appears like this, I will come to the second keyframe here. I will press K and I will select it and go change the size. For example, let's make it 50, just to make it very obvious. So the first one is the size of 108. Here I am, I'll select the keyframe is 108. The next keyframe is 50 and the next keyframe goes back to 108. You can change and keyframe all these parameters over here, including paragraph. You can change the alignment of a paragraph. Now you run your animation, it changes alignment. It's not very practical in our case, but nevertheless, you get the picture or the idea of how it works. This is how you use the source text by keyframing. It's a whole keyframe that is divided in two, before value and after value, and then you can change all the value in the character and in the paragraph if you would like to. So that is mainly it. But now it's extremely powerful, because if you have your text layer moving around and changing values, that will be a very easy to make and very powerful animation. People will ask you, how did you do that, changing? They might think you have 10 layers. No, with one single layer, you can use the source text to change the content and to change the attribute or the parameters within the character panel and within the paragraph panel. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this is useful. Its applications are very wide, and think about it when you're doing your animations. Try to remember it. I will see you in the next lecture and hope you benefited from this one.